pass out invitation here from Commissioner Bethany Miller, town hall meeting. Let me look at that on today. Thursday the 13th. Thursday the 13th. So invite all the council members out and all the community. The 13th. Does it say a time on there? I don't know what time, so we'll just throw up say 6 o'clock. If not, I don't know for sure, but all I see is the 13th. So that's being hosted by Commissioner Miller. 407 South Madison Street. So, a couple of proclamations we want to do here. First, this is autism awareness. I have a proclamation here for National Autism Awareness Month. Whereas in honor of April is a National Autism Awareness Month, the city of Bolivar, Tennessee would like to take the steps to increase awareness and understanding of this disorder. And whereas autism is the result of a neurological disorder that causes a wide range of impairments in social communication and restrictive and repetitive behaviors and can affect anyone. And whereas autism is the fastest growing development disability in the United States, affecting more than 3 million people per year, and whereas symptoms of autism are diagnosed in a variety of combinations and can result in significant lifelong impacts of an individual's ability to learn, develop healthy interactive behaviors, and understand verbal and nonverbal communications. And whereas in recognition of the growing needs of autism and the need to provide services to help individuals and families who are affected, and whereas the city of Bolivar is honored to take part in an annual observation of Autism Awareness Month and hope that it will lead to a better understanding of this order. Now, therefore, I, Julian McTizick, Mayor of the City of Bolivar, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim April is Autism Awareness Month to raise public awareness of autism and the numerous issues surrounding autism. And when this whereof, I have here set my hand and cause to affix the seal of the City of Bolivar, Tennessee on this 10th day of April, 2023, Julian McTizick, Mayor of the City of Bolivar. I want to personally say thank you all so much. A lot of y'all have reached out to me. We did finally get a official diagnosis on my son of autism, level 3, and difficult, but we enjoying it. And like I said, I thank y'all for the entire community. I cannot say just how much I love my community, and it means a whole lot to me that y'all support my family and and all the families that's been affected by autism. And I got a very special buddy that I asked his parents if he could come and take this proclamation on behalf of autism awareness in the city of Bolivar. So if y'all would give my big buddy a big round of applause, Chandler, come down here with me. Turn around.
My name's Chandler.
Chandler, yeah. Tell everybody your name.
My name's Chandler.
All right. Y'all say, hey, Chandler.
Hey, Chandler.
We're going to take a picture with this, okay?
Yeah.
You got to keep this. Well, who is a lot of cameras. Let's look back there at that. Take care, buddy. You have a good day, okay? You go hang that up somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to hang that up.
You got a Minecraft store?
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's hear it. Tell us about it.
We have a Minecraft story mode. It's interactive.
Does anybody know what that means? That's a good thing, I guess.
Your choices matter when you choose.
Don't neither one of these individuals play Minecraft on the list.
Yeah, I actually play Minecraft.
See you later. So Mom and Dad and everybody know Rashad and Nika. Thank y'all so much for bringing them, and thank y'all. My wife and Nika talk all the time, and so thank y'all for that support. Next, we have a proclamation here for Blue and Green Day in the Mid-South. Whereas every year, National Donate Life observes Blue and Green Day to amplify the importance of registering as an organ and tissue donor and encourage the public to wear blue and green to raise awareness. And whereas more than 100,000 Americans, including 4,000 in the Mid-South area, are currently on the National Transplant List, a waiting list, and whereas another person is added to the waiting list every 9 minutes, and on average 17 people die every day because the organs they need are not donated in time. And whereas we can do our part to save lives by educating and encouraging our peers and loved ones to register as an organ and tissue donor, and whereas the City of Bolivar supports National Donate Life and Mid-South Transplant Foundation in its effort to bring new life to men, women, and children in need of a life-saving organ and tissue transplants, and whereas we hold those that have saved lives through the gift of donation in the highest regard and are grateful for their selflessness. Now, therefore, I, Joanne McTizick, Mayor of the City of Bolivar, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim that this 10th day of April 2023, we honor Blue and Green Day, Mid-South, and Hardeman County, and thus encourage our residents to promote the importance of organ and tissue donation. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause to be affixed the seal of the City of Bolivar, Tennessee, on this 10th day of April 2023. And Rashad actually coming and accepting this. No, not Rashad. Who? All three of y'all. Okay, gotcha. Tell them. All right. How we stand here? Perfect. Did you want to?
Yes, I need to say a little something.
Yes, ma'am.
We thank you so much, Mayor, for inviting us out.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I do have some people here to say a little bit about their loved ones. I have a donor family and I have a recipient. So this is quite unusual for me, but I would like for them to say something.
Okay, good evening to all of you. To be honest, I was not aware that my husband was donating his organ. I was informed shortly after he died that he had decided to donate an organ. So I went along with his plan. And so I think it's wonderful because, you know, I don't know what else to say. It was just wonderful that I thought, you know, of him that he decided to give his organ away. Because that's a really big decision to make. And not many people can make that decision. Because myself, so far I haven't decided this. But I said hats off to all of those who are willing to donate their own organs. Because I was, when we went to the organ donors reception, I understood more what it meant to people who received these organs. I think one lady said she received her eyes and she had been having a problem with them. She couldn't see, but she went on to get a bachelor's degree and then went on to do her master's. So I thought that was just awesome, you know, because somebody donated and gave her their eyes, she was, you know, able to go on with her lifelong goals. So it's really, I think it's really a good thing to donate your organ, but it's a personal decision, and it's only a decision that you can make. So I thank God for organ donors, because I've seen so many people who need them, and they just don't have them available. My sister that passed on, she needed a kidney, and, you know, she never got that kidney request because we couldn't give it to her. You know, they asked the family if they would, and then they decided, well, the family wasn't eligible to give her an organ. So consequently, she did the dialysis and all this stuff, and, she never got that organ. But then friends of ours who needed organs, they got it because somebody was generous enough to donate. So as I said, it's a personal decision only you can make, but it is a valuable one that you can make to save the lives or help people along the way with their lives.
And I'm here, as a two-time heart transplant recipient. Two people made the decision to donate organs. And if they hadn't donated their organ, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. And I thank the Lord for it. I thank the Lord for donors. Because without you, I wouldn't be standing here today. And so it's my goal for the month of April is to raise awareness and to honor all of our organ donors in Hardeman County. So if you know an organ donor, please let me know so I can get them in the thing, because we're gonna honor them somehow, some way. We're gonna honor them.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for coming. The last thing I have on my report of our assessor of property will come, Mr. Josh Pulse. We've talked a lot, and I've heard this report a lot about the assessment, and I commend him. He's doing everything he can to inform our community, and he asked at our next council meeting if he could come and speak to you guys. So I will turn the floor over to Mr. Pulse.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor. Ms. Sarah, have we got that available where we can play that video?
Yeah.
Y'all please watch this video. I think it's a lot before I everybody see back there? Hey everybody, I'm Josh Pulse, your Hardeman County Assessor of Property. Hardeman County is about to undergo our state-mandated revenue-neutral reappraisal. What this means is we are about to see the values of all property in Hardeman County change. This occurs every 5 years here in Hardeman County. This is not about raising taxes. This is about fairness, not money. Remember, the last time we reappraised was in 2018, and we all know what property values have done since 2018. They have increased all across our state, and Hardeman County is no exception. For the last few years, we have experienced record high sales on all types of property, farmland, commercial, mobile homes, and especially in single-family residential homes. Our values continue to increase. Our properties are bringing more than they ever have before. The reappraisal will bring all values to market value. While you may be shocked at the increase in value, ask yourself, if you were to sell your property, would this be a fair price? If we are close, then we have done our job. Most people do not know this. One very important thing to remember is that this reappraisal is revenue neutral. The county cannot bring in 1 cent more than it did the prior year. Thus the term revenue neutral reappraisal. The county and each municipality will be given a certified tax rate that is set by the state of Tennessee. This rate will ensure that the reappraisal is revenue neutral. The county commission and the city councils in each municipality will have to either accept the certified tax rate and remain revenue neutral, or they can vote to increase that certified tax rate. If they do that, that will result in a tax increase. Properties, they go up and down in value over the years, and we make sure the property roll is updated every 5 years to show the current value in order to treat everyone fairly. That's it. That's why we do it. Hey, I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching.
According to the Tennessee state law, every county in the state must reappraise property either on a 4, 5, or 6-year cycle. In Hardeman County, we are on a 5-year cycle. Our last reappraisal was in 2018, so this year, 2023, requires a new appraisal. This means that all real property in Hardeman County must be reappraised, and a new value must be determined for each property in the county. So what is involved in this process? Every parcel of land must be reappraised. The reappraisal process is used to determine what your property would be worth if sold on the open market. The Hardeman County Assessor's Office has been physically reviewing each parcel during this process. Reappraisal takes into consideration the land, buildings, and any improvements made to the property. Improvements are things that are not raw land, such as a barn, shed, deck, patio, or new construction home. All these elements are combined into a computer system that analyzes and compares the property to other properties that have been sold in the area. This system gives the new fair market value of the property. What does all this mean for the property owner in Hardeman County?
My parents-
First, this process does not cost the county or owner any extra money. Generally, all that is required is a visual inspection of the property. You, the property owner, do not have to be home or schedule an appointment. Only on rare occasions would there be a need to look inside the home. Please note that this is not like the census, and the number of people living in a home does not affect the reappraisal. Second, this reappraisal itself will not create an increase in taxes. This process is revenue neutral and is only designed to bring property values in line with the current market. The county cannot use this as a tax windfall. The county commission and city councils can choose to raise the tax rate later, but must go through a process with public notification. Third, assessment changes will be mailed out April 7th. If you disagree with your new appraisal, you can call or set a meeting with the assessor's office to discuss your new value. If you as the taxpayer and the assessor cannot agree on what you consider to be a fair market value on the property, then you can appeal to the local board of equalization. If you do not agree with the local board, then you can appeal to the state. The job of the assessor and the board is to look at the value of the property and make sure it is valued correctly. The amount of taxes you pay is not a basis for an appeal. Only the value will be looked at and considered. Finally, please remember the last time our county was reappraised was in 2018. So when you look at your new appraisal, ask yourself, would I sell my property for that figure? If we are close to what might be a reasonable final sales price, we have done our job. If you have any questions, please contact the assessor's office.
So if the city's assessment say is $1 million, say $1 million. If your tax rate's $1.15, and now your assessment goes to $2 million, you're gonna have to cut that tax rate down from $1.15 to still bring in the same amount of money that you brought in at $1 million assessment. So your tax rate's gonna come way down. Now you, as the city council, will have the authority and the power to have a public hearing, notify the public, give the public an opportunity to speak. If you choose to raise that certified rate, you may have a special project that you're working on and need additional funds. If that's the case, you do have that authority to raise the rate. But Mr. McKinney, Councilman McKinney, you know what you gotta have for the budget. And the city of Bolivar has experienced some good growth outside of the reappraisal. You've got new businesses coming in. You've got new restaurants. You've got new homes being built. And the same thing for the county. We're seeing a lot of growth. I was really hoping that video would play because I had time to practice on that video. I didn't have time to practice tonight. But I gave you a packet. I did hand out a packet. Every sale that occurred in Hardeman County in 2022 is broke down in that packet by the month. So January, February, March, April, every month you can see the sales. And you will notice a map and parcel. That's how you can identify where the property is. In a brief description, it may say home plus 3 acres, home plus a lot, or just raw land. And then it has the sales price and it has R value. R value was the value that was set back in 2018 based off of the sales from 2017. So look at those sales prices and then look at R values. You can see the overwhelming majority of those sales are double, triple. They're definitely more than what our value is. So people want to know, well, why did it go up so much? The sales that have occurred is what's making the values go up. It's not me. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to try to make everybody in Hardeman County hate me tomorrow. I'm going to raise values. That's not the case. The state of Tennessee sets these values based off of what's called a Marshall and Swift cost approach, and then looking at the comparable sales. So if y'all have questions, I'll try to answer any questions that you may have. But if your phone hasn't been ringing, I guess they've all got my number. They're calling me. Folks are wanting to know. But if you do have people calling you, encourage them to call me. Come by the office. I'll be happy to sit down with them. They may have to wait a while. We've had people in all day, but we'll take it one at a time if we need to. And I'm here to help, believe it or not. I know it's an old, funny saying, I'm from the government, I'm here to help, but I want to try to be as transparent with this as we possibly can and answer any questions you may have.
I want to reiterate the video that was made by the high school media class was an excellent job.
Yeah.
I've seen it on social media. It's very self-explanatory. So if you've not seen it, you might want to go look it up because it is very, very helpful.
Yes, very informative, a lot of information. It's a short video, but there's a lot of information in there about the process, how it all works. And the main thing is that certified tax rate. You know, if people's values go up 50%, they're thinking, oh my gosh, my taxes are going up 50%. That's not how it works. The way it's been explained to me, if your home goes up, say 50%, and your certified tax rate comes down 50%, you're gonna pay about the same as what you did last year. If your home goes up 50% and the tax rate goes down 40%, you'll pay a little bit more. Some people could actually pay a little bit less. I think some of our commercial properties did not see the growth. They saw growth, but not the explosive growth that we saw in single-family homes where we had 60, 70, 80, 100% increase in the values. Commercial did not go up that much, so they could actually pay a little bit less next year.
What is your average, sir? Because I'm a first-time home buyer, and I
Okay.
did receive, my letter, and I was like, I don't understand, but I do need to sit down and talk with you. So what is the best time to come?
8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. We're there. And keep in mind, when you're looking at your assessment change notice, think about it. If you're a new home buyer,
Yes, sir.
what did you give for your home?
Yes, sir.
Are we close to that value? If somebody was thinking about selling their home, are we close to what would be considered a fair market value? If we're close, then we've done our job. Insurance. A lot of people have been bringing in their insurance information. What's your home insured for? You want to make sure, first off, you're properly covered with the insurance, but your replacement cost would give you a good indication of what your market value is, what your fair market value is. So those are a couple of things to look at and consider when you're looking at that assessment change notice. Yep, good question.
Josh, thank you for coming, man, and talking
Yes,
to us.
sir.
It's every 5 years we do this, and I don't know if y'all remember, we did this back, and I think our certified tax rate was around the same, a 0.5% difference, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to discuss this once we get that certified tax rate back. But
All right.
if y'all get any calls, we probably will, feel free to send them to Josh's office and
Yes, absolutely.
get in the line with everybody else.
That's right. Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Josh, for your time, man. All right, that concludes my report. Moving on to the lecture report. BEA met on March 27th. BEA staff demonstrated Hornsby, Solomon, and Powell Chapel areas are complete. For other utilities. We don't have to go out of town, so this report, approved sealed bids for fence, to go around Hicks property at the gas shop. If y'all saw the house, they burned the house down, they're expanding the, utility gas shop there, right down the road. Gas prices are at 65 cents for April. That's back to the pre-hike in prices, so that's a good thing there. That includes utility. Next is Chief Price of Fire Department.
Good evening. Good evening. My report, fire call, we had a total of 28 fire calls. We had city, we had 18 in the city, 10 in the county. Training hours, 207 hours. Smoke alarm installment was 23. Fire code inspection, 23. Because reversion event was 1. We're gonna be having a solar panel training on April the 25th out on Mecklenburg, where the site at 10 a.m. If any of you guys want to come out there and train with us, we're glad to have you. It's a nice work.
You want to train with you or just watch the training?
You just come watch. No, we don't want you to do it. Come watch. I know you get involved. I know what's going to happen. Thank you, guys.
Next, police, Chief Jones.
Good evening. My report is as follows. We paid 637 calls of service, 213 citations, accidents, we paid 19 in all. 3 were injuries, 16 property damage only. 30 arrests, 4 were juvenile, 26 were adults. Did 1 DUI saturation, did 122 hours of training. Please, my report.
Mr. Jones, on the issue of the other day, the lady, somebody come to her house like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, beat on the front door, beat on the back door, and the person was drunk, so they trespassing, disturbed the peace, and, the police, they called the police and had the police told them to leave and don't come back. So if a person goes to somebody's house like that, do that early in the morning, trespassing, scare the person, beat on the front door, the back door, whatever, so they get 2 chances, right? After you call the police the first time, the police come and make them leave, make whoever leave. They don't arrest them.
Correct.
And so that means if they come back again, they get arrested, so that means they get 2 chances at that.
Yes and no. In, some cases, if you have the property marked no trespassing, you only get 1 chance. If the property's not marked trespassing, yes, you have to have a warning first, then the next time you come back, then you're arrested for trespassing.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Next, Parks and Rec, Mr. Ford.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Parks and Recreation Department, we also on the following. We put the gate back up on the Martin Street entrance of the Sand Beach Lake Park. It was taken down a little over a year ago to open the way to put the building that sits out there, but it's been replaced. Our 11 to 14-year-old basketball league has begun, and it's going well. They normally will play on Mondays and Thursdays. Tonight's game were rescheduled for Wednesday. Registration for the 15 to 18-year-old basketball league, it'll begin later this month, and currently we're making repairs out at the swimming pool, the city pool, painting concrete and other things, getting ready to open this summer.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. All right. Next, street sanitation, Mr. Banner.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I started mowing the grass downtown already in April, item pickup month, and we hauled a total of 444 tons of garbage to the landfill. And we got asphalt bid up there.
444 tons, that's a lot of trash.
Yes,
I think the county does a report on the tonnage that they do. That's a lot, produce a lot of trash in the county.
Next, got the asphalt bids, got 2 Fowler paving. We do 150, well, right at 150,000 on the asphalt. Fowler's 125 a ton. And that's, we do as much as it gives. Next one is for A&W asphalt, 97 a ton. These all of them. So we got 2 here, one from A&W, 97, and one from Fowler, 125. They both done work for, last year was A&W, right?
Good for
Year before was A&W, last year we was Fowler.
No.
Who done this on the Fair Street? That was
What
Fowler.
street?
The Fair, the Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fowler. And Water Street, Fowler done them too.
Okay. You know anything about them, or which one you prefer?
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Fowler because we have had trouble in the past with A&W's work.
All right, got a motion for Fowler, 125. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion of a second, for Fowler at 125. Is there any other question of the month? All right, cast your vote.
That's all you got in?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we now have a library, and zoning and compliance. Mr. Watkins.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
How did the trigger report
Okay. I was late getting my report, and I wasn't sure you already got it. Building consultations 15, permits written 1, building inspections 2, plumbing inspections 1, mechanical inspections 0. 25 courtesy notices, and I'm sure you've noticed that Jack's Plumbing is installed, and they're working on footings and getting the slab ready. If we can get weather to cooperate with us, hopefully they'll pour that sometime this week. So that's where we are on that. Question?
We're getting ready, we'll start early, get ahead of this grass, about that time of year.
Oh yeah, already started giving some notices, so.
All right, next we have EMS. Bobby.
Evening. All right, this month's report, total responses 242. Right split down the middle, half of them 121 non-emergency calls and 121 emergency responses. 202 of those were transports. 55 transfers from Bolivar General Hospital, 51 of those to Jackson General, and then 4 of those were to Memphis. 203 scene calls in the city limits of Bolivar, 8 mutual aid calls with the county of Hardeman County. Also 43 scene calls that we made in the city limits of Bolivar. We went directly, kind of extra information, went directly to Jackson General from the scene, so it kind of adds in those numerics a little bit. And then Med Center units from Chester, McNairy, or Madison made 7 calls in the city limits of Bolivar in addition to those 242. During the month of March. Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Any questions?
Can I ask one question? How many units are y'all up to in now?
In Bolivar city limits, we have 2. Yep. 2 full-time 24/7 units.
All right, if you guys look in your packet, thank you, Bob.
Yep.
You look in your packet, I got a letter here from West Tennessee Healthcare. We met last month. I think I met with Joyce. She's the director of West Tennessee Healthcare EMS, as well as Ms. Ruby at the hospital and a couple more representatives from West Tennessee Healthcare. Basically, the news that they brought that they want to this here, the letter that they've given us is putting us on notice that they want to cancel the current contract that they're in with us. They don't want to they want to continue providing services, but the way the contract is rolled up, they have to basically put us on notice, and I forgot the amount of days. In the meeting, the issue they're losing money, which that's not an issue, they knew that that would happen. But basically where we are now is the calls that they're making, some of the issues that they're dealing with, the transfers from the county that comes into our hospital, for the billing, the coding, the way they bill the insurance company, they don't get paid the same to transfer them from the emergency room in Bolivar to Jackson. So basically, to make you understand that if somebody is brought into the hospital in Bolivar and they're coming from the county or outside of the city or coming on another unit outside of Med Center's unit, and they have to be transferred from Bolivar General Hospital to Jackson General, that billing is not the same. They don't get as much on that call. That's one of the issues that's costing them money. Of course, everything else, price of stuff going up, fuel and all those different things. They want to be here, so that's why they were meeting with me to discuss what we can do, let us know where they are. What I did, I asked them before we make a move, I wanted to talk and see what the county was gonna do. I've talked to them, Todd has had some talks. I don't know that they have made a decision on what they're gonna do yet on their part. And Todd said, if you don't want to address this, fine, because I didn't talk to you before the meeting. I didn't know who you talked to, but I know they have some things that they're working out on their end. But before we make a move, I really would like to sort of just first let y'all know this, and then secondly, see what decisions the county make. If the county, it's just me personally, if the county decides to continue EMS the way they're running it with the county, my biggest concern is if they will be able to handle the amount of calls that West Tennessee Healthcare are covering for us. you take out 2 units from the county. I'm sorry, you take the 2 units that EMS, West Tennessee Healthcare provides the city, you take those away, the county is gonna have to cover the slack. And, I mean, they're having the same issues that everybody else is having, staff and things like that. But I wanted to let y'all know personally, you know, like I said, the letter here, and where we stand with it. It's budget time, it's a lot of discussion going back and forth on what's going on. That's basically, I just wanted to put y'all on notice of what we're dealing with West Tennessee Healthcare. They haven't given me a certain amount. That's basically, once we start the negotiation, what that will look like, you know, yearly amount of subsidy. I don't have a clue what that would look like. I'm sorry, Ms.
Can I
Reyes,
ask a question? I do, and Bobby may can answer this. So the reports you give us that has the 242 responses, those are calls that you guys get called to take care of. Does that number include the drop-offs at the hospital from the Hardeman County units?
The 55 transfers are included in those total responses, correct? So whether people come in from scene calls, they come in with their personal vehicle, or another ambulance from a different service brings to Bolivar Hospital, and then the ER calls us for a transfer, that's included in that number.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, where we know where they came from initially is a different set of information.
I just didn't know if that was a separate number.
Yeah, those 55 transfers from Bolivar General.
Okay.
Whether we took them to the ER or whether they came in by personal vehicle, yeah.
Seems like a lot of this is about the insurance, and the insurance, companies, a lot of them say that West Tennessee is out of network, but we don't have another network, so some kind of way or another, they got to get that straightened out, because when my little transfer, they say, well, they's out of network. Well, they on the network we got, you know, so there's some kind of cross up there, they gotta get that straightened out, because, went over other choice. You know, I took that choice to ride up there with them instead of somebody else, when nobody else available. So I don't know if something crossed up there somewhere, they got to straighten out.
Any other question? I'll keep y'all, I did meet with, Ms. Bethany, Commissioner Miller, I think she's on the county EMS committee, as well as, Jamie, the director of Hardeman County. He did ask if he said that the county would take the city. I mean, they don't have an option. If we don't have the county's EMS, they would be required to do it anyway. But they did meet with me and let me know that they would, like to have our services back. And I expressed to him the same thing I just expressed to y'all. You know, I'm just afraid that, I don't know if they can handle it, in their
How
county.
many units does the county run?
I think they try to run 2, in the county. I think they have 11. He told me today they have 11 employees now. And they usually run 2. Is that right, Todd? Am I saying the number right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Two to a truck, and then, we are down on staff, and that's what we're hoping to, that's what we're doing right now in budget talks, and trying to remedy some of that.
Yeah. So, well, anything else? I will let y'all know, as we get in discussions with the county and what we are moving from here. Hopefully the county will move pretty quick, because it's April already, and we know we need to be moving on. So next is the, tourism and community development, what's the bid?
Good evening, council. Just real quick, attended the EPA training at the Brownfield site, at the tannery. Met with USDA to discuss some grant opportunities, and I believe we're gonna further that discussion at the end of the meeting tonight. I did receive certification on business retention through the Tennessee Department of Community and Economic Development. We're still working on our building, and probably the biggest thing I did this month that's not on my report, I don't know why I put it on there, but thanks to Devco, they're gonna be sponsoring Christmas in downtown Bolivar this year. They granted us $300,000 to put on a big Christmas festival that should rival anything in our general area, in our region, and so we're looking forward to that. And we got big plans, and it's gonna take us all working together to make it happen, but it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Good deal.
Hey, Mr. Bill, we met me, Dylan, and
Mr. Green, Ken Green, our Main Street Director, we're excited. If nobody else is, I know it's 3 people in the city excited about it. So looking forward to it. You guys will hear a whole lot more as it comes along. That's all the Senate committee reports on the old business. Got the discussion on sanitation rate increase. We met sanitation committee, Mr. McKinney, Mr. Lau. Okay, Mr. Woods, I'm sorry. I knew it was somebody, Mr. Woods, we met along with Mr. Bannister earlier. And we're still working through numbers. Hopefully we can have one more meeting, and we can present some things to you guys for us, what we can look at on the rate, setting the new rates on sanitation. So a lot of weeds to dig through and everything, but we're working towards having that wrapped up here pretty soon. Hopefully before the next council meeting. So that was all on sanitation rates. To the new business, have the approval for Jim Knuckles to get a city credit card, as well as, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna take these up together, just to hear. Both of those are, Jim will be taking Cliff's place, and Dylan, of course, is appointed as a new department head. So, that's what this is. They have followed the credit card policy that we put in place. I can't remember when we put it in place, but we have to have we have to have approval from the bank to do that. Any questions on that? Is there any opposition to take those together? Is that okay? Okay. Is there a motion to approve credit card for Jim Knuckles and Dylan Hill?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Red, second by Mr. Lau. You will cast your votes.
Point it toward me, Tom.
You say yes or no? There you go.
Might have to take that to the train.
Motion carried. Next we have, resolution 23006, revised application to submit LPR grant. If y'all remember, we did this last month, to submit for the grant for, Sand Beach Lake, and the original number was $579,728.50. The engineering, they left out something on the boat ramp, I think, to make it ADA accessible and compliant. So with that being added and put in there, it takes the project to $601,194.65. So basically, it's the same. Other than that, everything else is the same from the resolution we passed last month, just updating that number. So if there's not any questions on that, is there a motion to approve resolution 23006?
Sorry,
Go ahead.
question.
Yes, sir.
So do we have the funds for this?
Yes.
This is a matching.
Yes, so we're to take, you remember the money we had and the leftover money for the Hatchet River Nature Center project?
Yeah.
And some of the ARPA money, and then I'll probably ask for some support from DEFCA also. Yeah. Was there any other questions? Okay, I think we got it, I can't remember what the motion was, but this is currently a motion, is there a second? Second by Mr. Golding, who will cast your vote? Motion carried. The last thing we have here is resolution 23007, authorizing the city to apply for USDA, grant, community grant and loan Carolina. If you would, Larry, pass those around. So I'll tell y'all what we got here. Sort of, it's a lot I'm gonna say, y'all can follow me. What this is, well, what I'm asking for is, approval from you guys to move forward on the next step and apply, with USDA for a bond. There are no numbers on anything. What I'm asking for tonight is just it's gonna be a lot of lead work and a lot of footwork to put in to make this happen. But what I'm presenting to you guys is to take our Parks and Rec offices, right here where we have the gym, where we do basketball, pickleball, all the stuff that we do with Parks and Rec. I'm asking, what I would like to see is let's take away this this gym, remove it from City Hall, and build a multi-use indoor facility at Highway 64 on the amphitheater. What y'all looking at on this map, those are the 3 ball fields right here on Highway 64.
So if you're traveling west, this is the left side over there. So what I would like to see us do is put a facility there and build, those 4 fields, build on what we have. The property line, as you see, is right here. I've been in discussion with the state on them giving us that land, like they gave us the land there. Building that out, adding 4 ball fields, soccer field, 3 soccer fields, 3 tennis court, 4 pickleball courts. Inside the facility, there we'll have 3 gym floors, indoor batting cage, walking track, and other space for other activities, whether it be gymnastics, karate, dance, all those different things. Also included in this would be a partnership with YMCA. I see when you deal in politics, you end up becoming friends with people outside of politics. And I call Dave a friend now. We've been in discussion and we've tossed around a whole lot of ideas to figure out how to make a YMCA work involved. And this potentially could make that happen. With us moving this out here, one of the things I say we do, and his team, and it's been even beforehand, they do good at what we have here, but if you ever come up here at 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4, this place is full of kids. And 100 kids, you take my 4 kids and put them together, it's loud. So you can imagine what it's like for 100 kids running around and playing here. And this is just really not the place for it. They do fine, but he has to navigate multiple different sports on multiple different days to try to make things work in that one facility that we got. And the programs and the opportunity for our citizens is there. And with us building this facility, I would like for us to see the opportunity to bring in tournaments, whether it be baseball, soccer, AAU basketball tournaments that will attract people to town. So this is an investment. I don't know what that number will be, but this is an investment that if we make today, I think we will reap the benefit of it through our kids as well as through the community and seeing the extra people in town. But before we move on any further, I want to ask Dave if he can come up and tell us, just talk to us about on the YMCA side. And thank you so much for coming tonight, Dave. And you just, any questions y'all got from the Y, he'll be the one to answer for us.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and Council. 7.5 years I spent at the Star Center before coming to work at the YMCA. And so, thank you, Mayor, for the proclamation for Autism Awareness Month. Chandler made my whole night, so hopefully I don't mess this up for y'all. You know, this dream and this conversation started over 14 months ago, where we were talking with mayors from Southwest region at Southwest Tennessee Development District, and Mayor McTizzy came up afterwards and said, I don't know what this could look like, and we said, we don't know either. And so that's about as far as we've got. Talking about lots of ideas and what is possible and what could be, and I just want to thank this council for walking on this journey, hopefully with us. And like I said, I've got about this much information. But we believe, just like when you go to your physician and you go to your patient room and the physician is not there very quickly, at least that's my experience, and that's not their fault. There's a lot of people to see. But the prescription pad is blank when the physician walks in until after that physician has a chance to visit with you, the patient. So at the YMCA, the last thing we want to do is say, we're the YMCA, here's what Bolivar needs to do. We would rather say, here's the YMCA, here's all the things that we do. Which of these do you believe, Mayor and Council, would best serve the citizens of Bolivar? And so that's where we are. Do I think that this city is positioned to take advantage of all the growth that's happening in West Tennessee? 100%. Do I think this city is positioned to do it better than a whole bunch of others? 100%. But ultimately, it's going to be a collective decision. That's not what's best for the kids and the folks here today, but what's best for them and their kids and their grandkids. Because we do believe this is a generational opportunity. I've lived in West Tennessee my whole life, with the exception of almost 2 years in Oklahoma City. And this is the most exciting time that I've ever seen in West Tennessee. And those that take advantage of the opportunity are the ones that are gonna see the growth and gonna see the increase in property values and all of those things. And so, Mayor, I'm grateful to just be at the table, to help envision what could be, workout facilities, early learning center, so access to childcare. We know that we've got a childcare deficit right now, and that's before anybody that's gonna work at Blue Oval, arrives in West Tennessee. And so when all of those folks get here, it's only gonna make the childcare desert that much larger. Additionally, we know that physical fitness is a challenge. We also know that the #1 cause of death for kids age 1 to 4 is drowning. And so access to swimming pools, swimming lessons, safety around water, those things make an impact, not just today, but tomorrow. I'll never forget traveling one summer. I was 7 years old, and we were in Texas. I don't remember the hotel, but it was right on the Gulf Coast, and the parking lot extended out over the ocean. And we pulled onto the parking lot, and my grandmother opens the car door and gets out, and she hears water under her. She visibly starts shaking, gets back in the vehicle, and my father had to drive back around to the front of the hotel for her to get out because she did not know how to swim. And she was paralyzed with that fear her whole entire life. And there's a whole bunch of folks in Hardeman County that are the same exact way. And so, again, we don't know what it's gonna look like, but Mayor, thanks for inviting us to the conversation. And we look forward to seeing where it takes us.
Thank you so much, Dave. We've tossed a lot of ideas around on how to make stuff work. But like I said, what I'm asking you guys, before we put any more man hours, it's gonna be a whole lot more to put in this. We have to have this resolution passed to start that process. And putting this out here, we are also talking to some different people about potential residential and retail on the other side across the street on 64 there. But putting this together will, I think, really set us apart from a lot of other cities in West Tennessee. So Parks and Rec will use it and benefit from it, as well as other people, tournaments and things like that we can bring people here in the town. And then the same thing here with the City Hall, having a space that we can have people, you know, to over 300 and a nice facility, setting this up to do that, to host conferences and seminars and things like that. So that's what I'm asking, and I can answer any questions y'all may have.
With this opportunity coming to Barbara, will this give Ms. Danforth opportunity to hire extra help with everything being extended with different departments, you know, that you add on? Will this give him the opportunity to bring?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have more groundkeepers and stuff like that. The benefit though of having the Y in the picture is the operation of the pool. That's what the Y does. That's where they shine. And no offense to Mr. Full, but you probably don't want him teaching kids how to swim. But they can offer a lot more programs through the pool. They can come in and run that aspect of it. Short answer to your question, yes, we will have, of course, more groundkeepers. And we've talked to other communities our size that, you know, easily sees 300-400 people on a weekend, on one day for a game, whether it's baseball or basketball. I know a lot of y'all got grandkids and stuff that y'all follow around and stuff like that. But yeah, there will be more that we'll have to add on there on this first. And there's more opportunities also, like I said, they right now, even right here, we do walking, we do pickleball, we do volleyball, we do basketball, all at the same time, and on one gym floor, and they make it work. I mean, they've been making it work, but you know, we can expand and do a whole lot more.
This grant that you were speaking of, what, I'm trying to find my paper. Yeah.
This, let me make this clear, this will be very little grant funds. This will be a bond issued from USDA. We will be making a payment on this. Don't know what those terms look like, because I don't know what it's gonna cost. But we will, with y'all's approval tonight, we will get to that point. We've already been doing some budgeting with Lisa on how we can afford to make this note on this payment. I don't, like I said, I have no clue what this gonna be, but this resolution starts that. We will look for grant funding also, but this is not gonna be, I don't want to have any misconception here. This is gonna be funds that we're gonna be paying out of our, general fund. Now, there probably are grant opportunities out there, but this is not a grant.
Okay, I guess that's what I was getting at, but we don't know how much it's gonna cost. And, is it USDA, is just the city of Baldwin gonna be paying for this loan?
Yeah.
Obviously it is, but there's nobody else like the YMCA won't be paying any, contributing.
Well, once they will, I don't know what those
Okay,
numbers
they
look
will.
like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we haven't made it to that
Right.
point. And I don't want him to get fired for saying that they will, but we have, to get to that point of a hard number, first we have to have this resolution passed to submit. But this resolution does not tie us into this project. But to get to what that number is and what those terms are, it's gonna have to be a little more work invested in, this is a conceptual drawing here. But before I go out, two things, before I go out and start working on this, and it gets out in the community what we're doing, and you guys haven't heard from me, or haven't, put your support behind it, I don't wanna be disrespectful to y'all to be out doing that, and y'all hearing it in the community. Second thing is, it's gonna be some work, I'm gonna have to get approval from the state to give us some property back here. It's gonna be a lot of investing in time and making sure the fields that we got is the placement good, that the parking is enough, and all that kind of stuff, and, the processing going to make that happen. Same thing with the facility here. What all we need, we talked to the department head meeting about a sprinkler system, just stuff like that, and I would hate to come in and do all of that work and present it to y'all, and y'all say no. And I understand that this doesn't tie you into voting yes whenever you get the numbers, but it shows some support that, yeah, we will consider doing it. And once we get those numbers of what that'll look like, I know we'll be looking at a 48-year, general obligation bond is probably gonna be that. Right now, I think the rate is 3.75. That could change tomorrow, but I think last we met with USDA, that's what it was, so, which is pretty good considering 40 years on the payment, so. But that's where, I would rather talk about them numbers when I tell you what that's gonna be, because I don't have a clue.
Okay, well, I'd like to see the numbers there first, right? But, okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right, is there a motion to approve, resolution 23007?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Lau, second by Mr. Brown. If you would cast your vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, we gotta go same school there. I'm sorry.
Motion carried. Thank y'all so much. I think it's gonna be a real good thing. I'm excited about it. A lot of work ahead. Looking forward to working with Dave and the wife. And, y'all, this is gonna be something huge for this community. There's nothing else. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Kennedy, second. All in favor, say aye.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I was waiting for you to say community development, because I wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Come on, yeah, come on up.
It wasn't on the book.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a widow, I've been a citizen of Hardin County all my life. I was here to represent A&W Asphalt on street and sanitation. My nephew is here now. My first issue is his bid was a lower bid. Second, it was presented that they had some issues with A&W in the past. I work for the prison, so we are about recidivism, meaning giving people a second chance. So number one, my thing would have been, if there was an issue with A&W in the past, that somebody had presented something to them and let them try to rectify whatever the issue is or was, because my nephew's here, he knows nothing about it. And it could have been in the past, he's lost his dad, so he's trying to make his own way now, but that's null and void. But my thing is that, like I said, he had the lowest bid, maybe so that it wouldn't happen again, and he would have another chance at the city, city and sanitation, because he's a citizen of Hardin County, he pays taxes. Maybe somebody should have addressed what happened and what went on, and he could have had the opportunity to try to fix it or make it right. But I don't want him to be blackballed and on a blacklist because of something that somebody didn't like. So that was just my issue. I just wanted to come up here and speak for him, to give him a second chance as A&W to work for the city of Baldwin. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Can I say something to Ms. Quita?
Yes,
I understand, Ms. Quita, I respect you, but just like you say, Marquez has really just took over. It was really on his dad, Mr. Wood, before he did pass, and I do understand where you're coming from on that part, ma'am, and I appreciate you and Marquez for being here to let us make it known, because Marquez is stepping in his daddy's shoes right now. So I just wanna say, I thank you for, saying that to us.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Was anybody else?
No.
All right, well, we do the motion again, the motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. McKinney, second. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.